I do want to go back because a lot of people, they say, man, Trey, you're quiet, you're humble, but the reality is, as a matter of fact, my nickname throughout the industry has been the quiet storm, right? It's like, man, who's this unassuming guy that at every convention is walking across the stage, as one of the top ranked earners, but we never hear him, see him, and I just simply say, man, success isn't always loud. As a matter of fact, my football team back in the day, they used to call me the red maple. Here come the maple tree, right? Because if you really understand the process of growing a tree, a red maple, you guys, is actually the most dominant tree in all the forest, right? If you look up that maple tree, but when you plant that maple seed, it's quiet. The germination process, it doesn't make a lot of noise. So success isn't always loud, and I'm not saying I'm successful or anything like that, but I take seriously what I do in my business. I truly believe that, if you put your head down and really work on your craft and take it serious, the light will shine. So, another thing about a maple tree, you guys, is it takes in the least amount of light, okay, as all the other trees. So we don't have to have it shine all the time in order to be the dominant force in what we do. So, I just want to, first of all, thank Mark Kithcart. You inspire me. You don't even know it. T. Gray, man, the type of leadership that you exempt, sometimes you'll call me and check on me, or we'll have those candid conversations about, the potential here and how we can help each other grow. It's just an incredible thing. And plus what you guys do in flight school every single week is just, my hat's off to you. I've never seen any commitment like this in the industry. And this is 16 years for me. So very thankful for what we have in our leadership. Must give it back to, Mr. Holton Buggs, Mrs. Erlene Buggs. They are the epitome of leadership. And that's just for lack of better words, for speaking of this t-shirt, to be in Dubai during the Vision event was mind-blowing for me. It was a culture shock, right? I come from Atlanta. I've lived in Atlanta all my adult life, and we're usually fast-paced entrepreneurs, and if you're a six-figure income earner or a seven-figure income earner, you're in the top of the food chain. You go to Dubai, that's average, right? Six figures means you're average living, okay? And matter of fact, you might be in low poverty if you only make $100,000. So it was a culture shock, but what it did was it allowed me to see the rest of the world and understand that we don't have to live in a bubble. Mr. Holton Buggs and Erlene Buggs, their vision is that of a worldly vision. And I'm so thankful for what they're bringing to my life. As a matter of fact, they're helping to shape my philosophy, and I'll get into that in just a few minutes. And we should all be thankful for what we have here in our boomerang. To my fellow diamonds, listen, man, we had a ball. I just want to give a big boom to all the diamonds out here, because diamond is a lifestyle. Diamond, it means more than just 200,000 in volume minimally, okay? That Lou that we talk about, loyalty, unity, and edification, you guys, that's serious. And what we did in Dubai, I'm not going to give all the secrets on what we did, but the fellowship, to be able to know that my back is covered, to know that, even though my wife couldn't, come with me, I knew that Mrs. Kim Bean was there. She always has my back when we go to events. She checks on me, if I need something. She's just like, great people, just because, right? Sam Bean, just our conversations that we have, pushing each other and inspiring. I could go on and on and on. I want you to know what we have here in our Diamond Club, and in Dubai, we were able to just experience some of those times, and I'm going to talk about that as well. But I just got to give a shout out to some special people that I connected with on another level out there. Man, first of all, the Schmeichel brothers, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing your name wrong, but they know what we have, just for us to connect and we had many sidebar conversations about what we're going to do to grow our empire here in our boomerang. My brother Abdul Coma in France, we just, man, we just, salute to you and our Prince of Pips out of the UK, Mr. David Hunt. Man, between you and Avinash, y'all the biggest pranksters in the company, man. I'm just, every time I turn around, they got a big prank for me, right? They're always doing things to mess with me. So, I love my diamond brothers and sisters, and I could go on. I could literally name every single diamond that we have in our diamond club. Literally, I mean, I could go down the line and give you an experience that we had in diamonds, something that we shared intimately. So all the diamonds, salute in the name of Lou. Let's get this thing done. So first of all, I will not be long. I just want to jump in here, give you guys, just a few things to help position you for as we close out 2021. And make no mistake about it, we are going to close out 2021 with a purpose. We're going to do it intentionally, and we're going to do it collectively. 2022 is not here yet, but everything that we do to close out 2021 is going to determine how we launch into 2022. So it's very important that we position ourselves, that we prepare, and that we execute. So I'm gonna get into that. So by the way, I gotta take a time out for a second, because y'all mentioned the Atlanta event where GMA is coming, as well as our Elevate instructor, John Spencer. I would not be here as a diamond on my way to Crown Diamond if it weren't for our GMA, Mr. Edwin Haynes. And I gotta give a big salute. You guys, I don't know if you have an idea with the type of first-class leadership that we hear in the field representing you in our GMA, Mr. Edwin Haynes. But I gotta tell you, he's there for me every time I need him. And when we do have our conversations, the impact that he has on me, even when we're not communicating, that impact still stays with me. And you guys, he's also helping to shape my growth. And you guys, we have the best of the best. It's not a cliche. I'm going to talk about towards the end how we separate ourselves from everybody else in the industry. You guys, it's not even close. As a matter of fact, we don't even compete with the GMA leadership, with the lady, Mrs. Erling Buggs, and what she brings to the world with her women's events. You guys, you must be a diamond and experience those events that Miss Erling Buggs offers to the ladies in leadership. And so I gotta thank you guys for what we have here, because it's first class and we're building for the future. We're building for the future. So let's jump into it. You guys, I want you to hear me closely. We're not going to compete out here. We're not going to compete. I get a lot of phone calls from people sideline and in my group, people shaking in their bones because there's another company coming up, or there's somebody doing something in another company. Y'all, we don't compete. Okay, we dominate. And if you're ready to dominate your space, your future, your legacy, your business, your income, if you're ready to take control, take dominion, you guys pay attention, because I'm going to go really fast through these three. I got 3 little points. By the way, Mr. Kithcart, if it's okay, I'd like to share screen in just a few minutes, if I can. If not, it's okay as well. I can talk through, but I just have a couple slides I want to just use for illustration purposes, if that's okay. But number one, what do we need to do to position ourselves and be prepared, and to close out 2021 with the right posture, with the right business model? Yes, I'm going to get into some marching orders at the end with a few how-tos, what exactly we need to do. But none of the how-to matters if you don't get this in order, and if you don't master this part, and it's called envision. Okay, we talk about it a lot, but we really don't do a deep dive into what does it mean to be a visionary? What does it mean? You see, A visionary is someone who leaps into their dream, right? They make their dreams come true by action. And we want to envision ourselves, envision our universe, envision our world. And I want you to do that. Envision, believe, create your universe so that the universe can build around you. Very simple. It sounds simple, but it all begins with that. What do you see? What do you envision for yourself and your family? You know, what is it? I want you to close your eyes for a second. And the first three things that pop up in your mind when you close your eyes, that's your reality. See, Earl Nightingale talked about it, thoughts are things. Y'all don't listen. If you don't know about Earl Nightingale, you better go back and check it out. Thoughts are things. When you close your eyes, first three things you envision are about to become your reality. So that's why affirmations, getting on our flight school, this is our business meeting. Getting on, repetition is the key to learning. It becomes your affirmation. And then you start to grow your vision. Create your universe. You have the power to create your wealth. That is a fact. So, you know, as we envision, I want you to say to yourself, what am I? And then what am I going to become? What am I becoming? And then I want you to be. Somebody put be in the chat. Why? Because you must be that which you want to become. And it sounds simple, but if you don't master this, then you'll never be. It's so important. You know, listen, I will be a crown diamond. As a matter of fact, you know what I will be? What my potential is? You know what Trey Harris's potential is in iBoomerang? My potential rank in iBoomerang is the rank that Mr. Bugs has not created yet. But I will be that rank where as soon as I hit triple crown diamond, I'm calling Mr. Bugs and say, listen, we need about 4 or 5 other crown diamonds or whatever ranks are going to be so that we can keep it moving, right? You got to be that. You have to be diamond. Let's start with diamond. You got to picture it. What do you picture? And I know I'm going to give an illustration in just a minute where, you know, where if you take upon the power of vision and envision, okay, diamond, then the rest is simple. All right, it's simple because we have the formula on how to create diamond, how to become a diamond. And believe me, diamond has its rewards. You see this shirt here, Diamond in Dubai? It was more than just a trip. It was more than just a convention. It was more than just going to the desert. But you know what my favorite part was? My favorite part was just seeing another part of the world, how they live, being able to experience that with people who I admire and respect, and to be able to learn life lessons and be able to bring it back and incorporate it in my business. You know, one of my favorite philosophers, you know, he says that, you know, you're not yet that, but you are that soon to become. So you have to picture that. So what do you picture? Are you a victor? See, victory is yours if you see yourself as being a victor. Or are you a victim? See, a lot of us, you know, we're victims. And a lot of times it's by default. You can't control certain things that happen to you. But I want you to envision that victim mentality and just put a Y after that word victor and say, I receive victory. And how do you do that? It starts with here. What do you picture? So I want you to picture right now. I don't care if you're a director. I don't care if you're an ambassador. I don't care if you're just getting started. Okay. I want you to see yourself as being victorious. Bottom line, diamond. Just start with there. Just start with diamond. Start with diamond. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. The great thing about being, a dreamer is it's free. It costs you nothing. So why not dream big? Start with diamond, man. I'm not saying that everybody is meant to be a diamond. I'm not saying that everybody wants the income that diamonds earn, but why not stretch? Be that. See, I had to be a diamond first before I hit diamond. I had to be financially independent first, and I had to see it before I became. And I know this is elementary. Some people are like, Trey, get to the meat, man. But guess what? I can get to the meat of the how to, but if you still see yourself as a victim, you'll never see victory on a large scale that can impact and change your life. You're in the right environment to be a victor. Mr. Holton Buggs has done and is doing everything in his power for us to create wealth by setting a standard of victory, excellence, exceptionalism. You got somebody asked me the other day, what if you could name, somebody asked me this yesterday, if you give me one word to describe the company that you're in right now, what would that word be? And I said exceptional, because everybody else is mediocre except Boomerang. Oh man, we'll get that a little bit later. So what's the difference between what we do in our Boomerang and what everybody else does? Everybody else is entrepreneurs. We're not going to be entrepreneurs. We're going to be entrepreneurs who believe in excellence, who can envision our universe of helping people to become financially independent, getting out of debt, and helping people seek abundance. That's how we dream. See, so no entrepreneurs, y'all. No entrepreneurs. Let's get this thing done. I like that. Brenda said excellence. Man, we got this chat blowing up. So let's jump in, and I want to share a slide if I can. Mr. Kithcart, is it okay if
you got control?
Wonderful. Let me see what I can do here, you guys. Please bear with me. I'm going to try this out. So it's not perfect, okay? Very, very low when it comes to technology. Okay, they say that I'm low tech, but high check. Let's get it done. So, all right. Forgive me, you guys, but I just want you to glance. If you guys can see this screen, Mr. Mark Kithcart, can you see my screen?
We can see it.
Okay, so this is what I want you to envision. This is so inspiring to me. I came across this article the other day because, coming back from Dubai, I'm really inspired about, in helping my health, increasing my health. I don't want the wealth without the health now. I want to live an abundant life. And coming across this article, I saw this young lady, and I believe her name is Alexis, right? They call her Lexi, and she was struggling with her weight. And as you can see in the screen, it says, she's been battling her weight since birth. And I can relate to this. The reality is, it's no secret that she's overweight, right? But can you imagine, the mental struggle that she has, because she doesn't want to be this weight. As a matter of fact, in this article, she talks about being a slave to her weight. And this is her husband here. And as a matter of fact, they weren't married at this time, but she confided in her husband that she wanted to change her life by, losing weight. And she always says it's an uphill battle. She said nothing worked, but it was her life. It was her life goal to lose the weight just so she could do a few things. She wanted to be able to ride a roller coaster. She wanted to go and sit on an airplane and not have to take up 2 seats so she could travel the world. She wants to travel the world. I mean, her dreams are just like ours. We want to travel the world. So this is her wedding here. As a matter of fact, she and her husband got married, and they made a pact. They said, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get the weight off. And she asked her husband, are you with me? And he said, yes, I'll lose weight. I'll do it with you. I'll commit to our diet and exercise. I'll commit to our meal plan under one condition: no surgeries, no diet pills. Let's do everything organically, and let's do it the right way so we can keep the weight off. I'm going somewhere with this story. Because see, your road to diamond or road to financial independence can look like, it can look like an uphill battle. It can look like, you're defeated before you get started. But if you have an accountability team, if you have someone that you can confide in, our mentors, our coaches, and seek some advice and make a pact, like I made a pact with my sponsor, my mentor, my coach, Mr. Edwin Haynes, that I was going to do what's required, and we made a pact that we're going to get this thing done. I made a pact with my family, my kids, my wife, my mother, I'm her caretaker, that I'm going to do what's required in order for us to hit these levels so that we can finally live life on our terms. I mean, truly on our terms. You guys, I want to be a professional philanthropist when I grow up, right? So back to the story. As you can see her picture, they fought, they struggled, they had setbacks, but they started making progress. Because of that accountability, you guys, and that vision that they have for each other, I want you to see she was over 500 pounds and maybe close to 2 years, not quite 2 years, she lost over 330 pounds to start. And she did it the right way. So I want you to see her and her husband. This is before and after. Did you see her wedding pictures? Now look at the results. She had to envision herself in this new universe of hers. And she created it. She had a plan. She executed. She had her accountability partner. Well, Trey, I don't have an accountability partner. Yes, you do. As long as you have an upline leader, a sapphire, ruby, emerald, diamond, or a GMA, you have an accountability partner. All you have to do now, is deserve that. Oh man, I lost my slide. You guys, excuse me. Okay, here we go. All right, so you see her wedding picture. Now, this is her in the gym. She talks about it was a mental struggle. The road to diamond is ebbs and flows. It's not going to be perfect. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be more lows than highs. But if you can fight through those lows, man, and then eventually with good habits, accountability partner with a plan, you're going to have what you're looking for. So I just want you to see her victory. This is so inspiring for me, and these are some of her this is her final picture that she took. She was able to go to her concert. As you can see, that's her concert ticket, a shirt. She was able to get on airplanes and travel the world. Yes, it took a while. Now, the road to diamond probably won't take this long, probably won't be as big of a feat here. Okay, probably won't be as, because we have a clear path for you on how you can get to diamond. Mr. Holt and Bugs did a training entirely, just go diamond, get the diamond. And then he did a boot camp for us that want to go diamond on what to do. So we have the direct path for you. All you have to do is envision up here that you're diamond. And then you have to be diamond. Then you have to find out what it takes to be a diamond. See, Lexi here, she had to study and find out, man, what does it take for me to lose 200, 300 pounds? What is it going to take for that? Right? And then she became that which she is now. So, and it's victorious. You guys, 3 C's, then we're going to go on to the next subject. 3 C's to becoming victorious. And it starts with confidence, okay? Confidence. When you have confidence, how do you gain confidence in yourself? By being around in the right environment, getting on flight school every week, listening to the trainings, the testimonials throughout the week that we have, plugging in to the daily calls. So you guys, I get on opportunity calls, whether it's Spanish, French, Italian, whether it's the Czechs, whether it's English, it don't matter. I get on anyway. If it's the Spanish presentation, I'll type in the chat, hola. Why do I do that? I don't know Spanish, but I want to put myself in the environment. Maybe I'm having a challenging day and I just need that jolt of iBoomerang energy. Plug into the source, because if you unplug yourself from the source, your battery will die out. Confidence, that's how you build your confidence. Repetition is the key to learning, okay? And then the next C is called commitment. You become committed more when you decide to embrace. And so the next subject is called embrace. I want you to embrace the process. Embrace diamond. Embrace adversity. Embrace the process. Embrace victory at the end. Embrace the suck. Anybody heard that phrase, embrace the suck, before? It's a military. I believe it's the Marines, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Andy say, yep. You got to embrace, you got to embrace the suck so that you can embrace the victory a little bit later. What does embrace mean? Simple. To accept, to support a belief with enthusiasm. That's the key, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is contagious. The lack of it is also contagious. People call me quiet. People call me laid back. People call me gentle. Whatever you want to call me, I'm committed. I'm committed to myself. I can't pretend to be somebody else. I can't pretend to be the GMA who's got a dominant presence. I can't pretend to be Mr. Holton Buggs. I got to be myself, but I have to be committed and embrace who I am. Embrace the process to become diamond with the right enthusiasm, though. See, a lot of people, you know why they leave iBoomerang, or they leave the industry of network marketing, or they give up on entrepreneurship? Because they didn't embrace the process. They didn't even embrace, what it takes. And when I say people leave iBoomerang because they didn't embrace the real core philosophies, they didn't even take the time to learn the core philosophies of iBoomerang. You know why I'm here in iBoomerang? Because of the philosophy. This is a belief system here. When Mr. Holton Buggs says loyalty, unity, edification, that's a philosophy. You don't find that anywhere else. There's not many owners of network marketing companies that I haven't met, spoken with, sat in their offices, at their home offices, where they pitched or trying to, show their offer. But I've never ever seen a CEO stand behind something that has a higher purpose than just money, a higher purpose than just trying to sell a product. Because here's why I embrace the core philosophies of iBoomerang, because the money is going to come. Y'all, listen, the money is going to come if you embrace victory, right? The money's going to come if you understand the belief system here. It's very simple. Do you know when you have a leader with high integrity is when the rubber meets the road, when your back is against the wall, when we're 2020 March. I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. And I don't think I've talked to anybody about this except Sharon. Okay. It was, I believe, March or April. The pandemic was hitting. It was new to the world. Even the top experts in the economy didn't know exactly what to do because they've never lived through this before. So it was Mr. Holton Buggs that called a diamond meeting immediately. He didn't wait. He didn't wait until the government or the president or the powers that be, had solutions. He called a diamond meeting immediately, and he said, look, team, look, diamonds, here are some principles that you need to really consider thinking about. And if you need to apply these things to your lives right now, that can help you so you don't lose the shirt off your back, just in case we go through a recession, just in case, income goes down, just in case some of the worst things that can happen economically to us as a country, as a world, starts to happen. So let's be proactive as a group of diamonds and take this advice. And he started going down the list of things to help us, to prepare us from catastrophe. He didn't have to do that. He could have kept all that knowledge and information for himself, but instead, what does he do? He gives to us first. He comes to us and says, because you guys are at a certain income level, you have to pay attention to these things. So go out there and protect yourself. This was information that I had never heard of before. I never heard of how to protect yourself financially, these ways, strategically. And he gave it to you guys. These are core philosophies that you're a part of and you don't even know it. A lot of us think that iBoomerang is about sending out a code, spamming it to the rest of the world and think we're going to get rich because I put a smart code on Facebook and I got 10,000 customers who scan the link and they're going to buy Skin Tech and I'm going to be rich and live happily forever. You guys, it might happen, but it probably won't. You're going to have to put a little work into it. So I want you to embrace the core philosophy of what we have here. I don't know about y'all, but I'm in it for the long haul. Anybody in it for the long haul? Put boom in the chat. See, I want to create passive income that we can duplicate forever and ever and ever. And it starts with building the future. And that's what we're doing here with iBoomerang in the Crib. So you guys, we got to embrace the core beliefs and the philosophy of iBoomerang. Man, I'm seeing these chats light up. Boom, boom, boom. I'm seeing you guys, right? iBoomerang is a philosophy and he's shaping my business philosophy. Anybody ever thought that they knew a little something about something? I thought I knew a little something about business and, you know, distribution and a little bit of network marketing and team building and how to recruit until I started embracing these philosophies, right? And that's why I'm a student. Yeah, okay, I wear the title of diamond, but you know what? I'm not a diamond until I can create a diamond. And then that diamond must do the same thing. See, I'm not a blue diamond. I'm not a sapphire until I create a sapphire. So what I have done was what I did March 8th, or was it March 9th, 2019, when I took my $250,000 ring off on the stage in front of the world in Houston, Texas. I took that ring off from another company and I said, I am no longer that, right? I will become an iBoomerang multi-millionaire, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm removing that title. I'm still a diamond, don't get it mistaken, but in my mind, I'm embracing the fact that I must become diamond again. I must do it. And I'm doing it right now. I'm enrolling new people. I'm doing the activity. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. I'm having those tough conversations with people out here in the marketplace who know nothing about business. They're entrepreneurs. They're not entrepreneurs. They want to be an entrepreneur, but they're lost. They want to be an entrepreneur, but they keep jumping from company to company to company to company. They want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't know the core philosophies of business. And all they have to do is learn what we're doing and be open-minded. So I'm doing these things so that I can become a diamond again. You guys, I'll be a diamond again. How am I going to do that? I'm going to hit director before the end of this month. I'm going to get my It Takes Two. I'm checking the boxes. Shout out to my confidant, my partner, Mr. David Guilty, out of Chicago, Emerald, on his way to diamond. And every day we have business conversations, accountability conversations. We talk about, you know, what is it going to take for him to hit diamond? What is it going to take for me to hit diamond all over again? And we're checking the boxes. The first box in our back office, for those that mind your business and study your business as an entrepreneur, not a wantrepreneur, there's a report in your back office that says it takes two, right? Well, I want to check that box off before the end of the month. That means I personally wrote 2 new ambassadors. Okay, this is my road to diamond again. I'm going to check those boxes. And once I check that It Takes Two box, that means I got 2 personally enrolled box. You know what next box I'm going to check off? I'm going to check off superstar achiever. And that's the next step. You want to become a superstar achiever. Check that box off. Then the next box back there, unilevel. The next box, you know, there's another box back there, leadership development bonus. You know, to me, once I hit sapphire again, I want to create a new sapphire. And I have some new people on deck that are gonna be at the event when Mr. Haynes gets here. And they promise that they're gonna hit sapphire at that event. So then I get to say, okay, I'm a bona fide sapphire, right? So check the boxes, man. Enthusiasm, embrace the new you, embrace organic enthusiasm. See, you want to be organic in your approach, okay? But if you're talking to people about our boomerang and you're not confident and you're not committed to the cause and to the core beliefs, and if you're talking to people like this, hey, I want you to look at this product. It's called Skin Tech, and it's better than hand sanitizer, and you're gonna love it. And the company's called iBoomerang, and you can get started at $250. That's not confidence. That's not enthusiasm, and it shows you're not even committed. You want to be confident. You want to be enthusiasm, and yes, you don't have to raise your voice in order to be enthusiastic. It's about posture. It's about how you say, choosing your words and speaking from your diaphragm, from your heart, right? And you don't have to be over sensationalizing the opportunity. What I've learned is iBoomerang is, it's good enough. Like, we have proof of concept now. We have proof of concept. The boomerangs work. Skin Tech works. If someone enrolls in your business, you're going to get paid. It works. Bill Genius, trust me, works if you allow it to work. So the proof of concept is there. You don't have to tap dance. Travel and trade works. Okay? Trade to travel. And I got to tell this quick story. I know I'm all over the place, y'all, but trust me, I'm going to get back on track. But David Hunt, man, shout out to David Hunt. Man, this joker right here, we are in Dubai, and he's like, Trey, I'm going to show you how in 15 minutes I'm gonna make a couple $100 just by trading while we're traveling. I was like, David, man, get out of here, bro. You're not just gonna randomly pull out your phone and start trading and make this money. He was like, watch me, right? So we're walking down old Dubai, the old city of Dubai, right? And it was just brilliant. I mean, I loved it. Okay, we were shopping, and David pulls out his cell phone, and he's just trading away, right? And he shows me every 60 seconds, he shows me the money he's making. Look, Trey, I made $20. Look, Trey, I made another $50. And within 13 minutes, I swear, because I was clocking him, he made over $300. Dave, I hope you don't mind me putting your stuff out here, but he made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Disclaimer, everybody's results will not be this way. I just had to give an example, right? I promise you everybody's going to have different results, but he showed me. And y'all, once you see something, you can't unsee it. When he showed me 15 minutes, 13 minutes, he was able to make the money that he made. And then he showed me the process. He showed me the pairs that he was using. I said, whoa, travel to trade, trade to travel. I'm sold. And he did it again, right? So, shout out to our Prince of Pips, But here's the deal. You guys, it works. Proof of concept. Last thing I really want to hit on, and then we're going to wrap up with some marching orders, what to do, how to do this thing, man. We talked about, being confident, being committed. And the last thing we want to talk about is going to take you to another level of conviction. All right. Conviction is when you know that what you believe in is true. Okay. And I believe without a shadow of a doubt in my core beliefs. You can't tell me anything different about it. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to compete with the rest of the world, rest of network marketing, rest of these antiquated companies with these antiquated compensation plans that get people emotionally wrapped up. No, we're not going to compete with them. We're going to dominate them. We're going to conquer our dominion. We're going to control. We're going to conquer our targets, our goals. We're going to take dominion over what we believe. The question is, what are your goals? What are your targets? How about our fears? We got to conquer. I call those things WMD, weapons of mass distractions. WMD, what are some of those weapons of mass distractions that keep us from conquering our targets, our goals, our missions, our finances, our lives? What are those things? It can be social media. You know, a lot of us spend too much time on social media instead of using social media to work for you. I despise y'all. Here's the truth. I despise being on social media. My team gets on me all the time. Trey, you didn't see my post? You didn't see this person's post on Facebook? You didn't see where this person moved from this company that did this? Y'all, that's gossip to me, right? I use social media as a tool to work for me, not to gossip. Those are entrepreneurs who use social media to gossip. Y'all, that's a waste of time. Weapons of mass distraction. Turn it around and use it as a tool for promotion. In my opinion, social media is the strongest way to build your contact list. And there are a lot of people on here that are saying, I run out of my warm market. I don't have anybody else to talk to. Are you kidding me? There are billions of people on social media. Go find some. Use it. That's your lead generation right there. So that's another subject. So we're going to conquer our target. We're going to separate ourselves from the competitors. How do we do that? Y'all, one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite philosophers, W.E.B. Du Bois. He said, pay attention, y'all. No man, dead, living, or yet to be born yet, can do better. So we're not going to compete with these people out here in the marketplace pretending to do business, pretending to make all this money, pretending to be success coaches, and they just started learning how to be an entrepreneur. They just got an LLC 6 months ago, right? We're going to separate ourselves from these people. No man or woman, dead, living, or yet to be born yet, can do better than us, can do better than iBoomerang ambassadors, diamonds. So y'all, let's wrap it up. You know, emotions, weapons of mass distractions can be your emotions. You know, I believe John Maxwell said, please don't quote me if I'm wrong. Don't hold it against me, but I believe it was him, but he said the hardest person to lead is always yourself. Because why? We're emotional beings. Mr. Holton Bugs doesn't know this, but he saved my career, probably helped me to improve my personal life. When I was in a totally different company, he was coaching me and didn't even know it, because he recommended a teaching from a book called Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Y'all, we throw that name, that title, that book around too much. You know, but let me tell you, it's one of the most brilliant resources that I still to this day use to help my emotions, because it's a book about how do the most successful people in the world, how do they become successful? Is because they control their emotions. So I've been a student ever since Mr. Bugs recommended Napoleon Hill Foundation, that book, you know, because it talks about the different emotions that keeps a man and a woman from transmuting their emotions into business power. So you guys, that book is a must read over and over and over again, because the hardest person to lead is always yourself. Those weapons of mass distractions, they take over your day because you don't have control over your emotions, and then you allow someone else to control your emotions with their gossip. That's why Jackie Pippen, shout out to her. Shout out to Jayla Pippen, diamonds in this company, you know, but I do not look at my text messages before 7 a.m. in the morning, because if there was some news to be heard, Jackie Pippins is going to send me that text message early in the morning. And if I look at my phone and read the text message that she sends me, and she's always positive, she's always sending me, you know, good information, but sometimes it might be something negative that I need to pay attention to, because y'all, let's face it, sometimes, you know, business is tough, right? I don't look at my phone because those text messages can control my emotions first thing in the morning, and I have to own my morning. I don't look at my phone before 7 a.m. unless I'm taking an Elevate class, or unless I'm listening to some PMA, positive mental attitude, inspirational stuff. Control yourself, control your environment. You know, procrastination is a weapon of mass distraction. Family and friends is the last thing I'll talk about on that. For some people, that can be the biggest, the strongest pull. You know, I have, you know, husbands and wives call me all the time. Trey, what can I do? What can I do to get my wife? What can I do to get my husband on board? I boomerang. He don't want nothing to do with it. What can I do? I would be a diamond, Trey, if my husband would just get in here and help me. But no, you'll never be a diamond. If you're waiting on your friends, family, y'all, my best friend in the whole world is not in this business, won't join this business, but he's still my friend. Now I don't socialize with him often because I don't have time for it. I don't have, you guys, I'm 50 years old. I don't have time for a 25-year-old childlike conversation. Not at 50, okay? And I just don't have time for that. So your friends and family, don't let them be distractions. You have to focus. My new friends are those diamonds in Dubai, man. Those are my new partner. You know, I'll just, man, I could go on and on about our diamonds. So what do? You guys remember, we're going to conquer our emotions. We're going to conquer our targets. We're going to separate. We're going to have dominion over our future. And we are going to dominate, not compete. We're going to dominate, not compete. So what do? First thing you want to do is refine your list. I just told you, social media, there are billions of people on social media. So go through, find out who has something in common with you that you can have a natural conversation with. Who are those people? I'm in the beauty industry. That's my profession. Okay. So I know barbers, cosmetologists, estheticians, nail techs, massage therapists, image consultants, manufacturers. I used to own and operate a multi-million-dollar manufacturing company. We used to distribute hair care products. Anybody in that space, I can have a natural conversation with. I'm not talking to a stranger. What's your profession? Are you in the medical field? Are you an instructor? Okay. What's your profession? What's your genius? If it's not your job, it's not your genius. If it's not your genius, it's not your job. So social media, refine your list. And I'm here to tell you, there are some people who have joined our boomerang with me that are major players, not in network marketing, but in business. They have influence. They're entrepreneurs, they're business owners, and they joined me, right? But they walked away from it. But guess what? I'm going back to them right now, and we're having a different conversation. The first thing I'm saying to them is, you know what? One brother's name is Eddie. Eddie, you know what? Man, you know what? You know, I respect you, your business acumen, and I want to apologize. I want to apologize for really not sharing with you the true core beliefs of our boomerang and what I'm doing in business. And because of that, you know, I know it caused you to walk away. But here's what I want to do. If I could show you how our boomerang could be that fit because of our core beliefs with your business, you know, would you just take a second look at what we have to offer? Because I know for a fact, Eddie, that what we have now would be a perfect fit for you. Just forget money. You invested with us already, right? We have a way for you to come back. If I could just, you know, just give me 10 minutes, Eddie, would you take a look? So what I did was I complimented Eddie, and I took ownership and said, Eddie, it wasn't all your fault, bro. You took that step and you invested with me, you know, but I got a solution for you. Okay. So I'm going back to some of those people. Majority of my time, yes, is going to new people, new contacts, new relationships, but there are a few people that I know need iBoomerang, that I know could value the core belief system from iBoomerang and could utilize travel and trade and travel. Okay, very, very important. Very, very important. Yes, I'm hearing somebody talking about reaching around and digging through their network. Absolutely. Okay. Another thing, last thing, I think we're running out of time here. I don't want to be too long. But another thing that I'm doing which is critical. It's the one thing that majority of us are not utilizing, but it's the most impactful tactic that we should use. You guys, we're too busy recruiting. We're so busy trying to recruit, right? We're so busy trying to recruit the world in our boomerang instead of offering our boomerang to them. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make more offers. I want you to make more offers instead of just recruiting. Y'all, recruiting is simple. It's an antiquated term. Yes, do we recruit? Yes, we do, right? Absolutely we do. But we have to ascend to a higher level of conducting business. Y'all, we're making offers. I want to attract people into my business. I don't want to recruit you, right? So when I speak with you, I'm going to build rapport with that person, that new contact. I'm going to build rapport again, and I'm going to build rapport some more until I can make you an offer. And you know what that offer is going to be? Whatever your pain point is. And I don't know that until I properly build a rapport with you. Once I understand, what you do for a living, what you do for recreation, a little bit about your family and your background, and then I get an understanding of what you need next. And don't be afraid to ask the magic question. Eddie, what do you need next for you and your business to get to that next level of success or next level of purpose for your business? What do you need next? If time and money wasn't an issue, then I listen, I wait for an answer. It's like I'm interviewing my potential business partners. And Eddie's going to tell me, well, you know what, man? You know what he's going to say? You know what he's going to say? He's going to say, you know what? I could use more inventory so that I can, feed my clients, my customers faster. I need to have more inventory so my turnaround time is faster. Well, what's the problem? Why can't you do it? Well, I need to extend my line of credit, but right now, I'm kind of maxed out, or I could use some extra income. I could use an investor. I could use more money so I can buy more product to have on the shelf. So I don't have to, make them wait longer for their product. My job is to find that pain point, knowing iBoomerang has the solution for that, and bridge that gap, collapse that, okay? And you are the solution. So I'm going to say, Eddie, man, you know what? I admire that. And that's respect, because I see you're growing, you're growing your business. People love your product. If I could show you a solid way that has a proof of concept of winning for what your needs are, if I could show you how to fundraise, how to create a powerful revenue stream that complements what you're doing already, and that within the next 3 months, you'll have the money you need. You'll have the passive income and it'll also complement or give your clients another service. Would you take a look at what I'm offering? Now, why am I saying that, right? I'm just offering solutions to people, how to bridge the gap, get them away from their pain, get them as close to the things that they want. And our job is to find out what they want, y'all. And it's just a few things. What do people, what are they trying to get away from? Their jobs. I talked to a gentleman a couple of days ago when I got back from Dubai, and I was asking him, if you had it your way, what would you do? What do you need next to get to your place of happiness, man, so you can be more happy? You're making 6 figures. You enjoy what you do. You know what he said? He said, man, I don't retire for another 12 years. Man, if I could retire sooner so that I could just, be with my kids full time and help them. I said, if I could show you how to cut that 10 years down to maybe 2 and have the kind of income stream so that you can live the life on your terms, would you just take a look at what I'm doing? I'm identifying just a handful of people that I can show them our core philosophies, because I'm partnered with some of the strongest people in business. Would you take 10 minutes and just take a look? He said, man, I'll take a look for sure. If somebody says they won't even take a look, y'all, you gotta get away from them as far as you can and ask them, well, who do you know? Who do you know? Those are magical words, you guys. Wrapping up. Showing people the end result faster. You know what my mindset was in my other businesses when it came to, see, I had a broke mindset. Even though I was making some pretty good income, I could never get to that, $1 million status in 1 year, which is a feat that's gonna happen. I'm gonna master that here in our Boomerang, right? But I would make, great income every year, qualify for that $250,000 ring, and that was on the low end, right? My point is, I couldn't ascend above that. I had a ceiling, a mental ceiling, because I couldn't get past price. When we used to get stuck in our other company, the price was already too low. We would ask for it to drop even lower. We say, oh, can you just offer product? Let people join for nothing. If people can just join for nothing, we can get more people in the business. That's a broke mentality. See, we have different price points. We got a first class package. Focus on first class. I had to learn to do that. But once I learned that broke people focus on price, but I Boomerang Diamonds focus on value. Focus on results. Price is no longer an issue. You know how I learned this the hard way, and then I'm out of here wrapping up. I learned the hard way because in my other company, Mr. Holton Bugs taught me this lesson by showing me and proving to me this lesson. I believe it was about maybe $179 to join our other business, or sometimes it was less because we were running major promotions. And I was recruiting, not offering. I was recruiting people to join for that price. And this one guy in particular, I remember, he worked at, he worked at, he was one of our mechanics, and I was recruiting him, right? Not offering. And I was recruiting him. I was like, look, man, you need to join our business. It's only $175. You could do well. You can make $100,000 in this company. Like me, I'm making 6 figures. And he took a look at it, and you know what he said? I just don't have the money, man. If it wasn't $175, I'd get involved, right? And I was like, dang, man. Well, here's what I learned. About 3 months later, I saw him again. Except this time I saw him at the mall. He had a kiosk and he was selling coffee at this kiosk. And I said, Darnell, man, how you doing, man? He said, oh, man, I just joined this company. It's a coffee company. I said, well, how much did it cost to get started? He said, I paid $1,300 for this gold pack to get started. And now I got this coffee business. I got a kiosk here at the mall. I said, Darnell, I told you about a business cost $175. Why didn't you join with me? And you're going to pay $1,300. How did you get the money? You told me you didn't have the money. And he said, you know what? I went and got a payday loan. I said, you went and got a payday loan for $1,300 so you could join this coffee business, and you're a mechanic? See, people, if you have the right messaging and the right offer, take them away from their pain, show them the results, they will find the money. First class. Stop talking to people. I had to stop talking to people about my goals and start pointing them to their results that they want, that they can believe in. Show them the core beliefs of iBoomerang and let them know, listen, if you were to give somebody, take $100 bill and say, if you give me $20, give me a $20 bill, I'll give you this $100 bill. How many people know that person's going to take the $100? They're going to give me the $20 bill. Why? Because I'm showing them the instant value. If you show someone first class, right? Show them the value if they follow our core belief system that Mr. T. Gray and Mark showed us earlier. It's a simple system, you guys, then the light bulb will go off. So don't think it's price. Don't think that, it's compensation plan, because there are worse, trust me, y'all. The breakage involved in these comp plans are worse, right? So it's not comp plan. If it was comp plan, everybody would be in our boomerang if they understood that we have uncapped volume potential here in our unilevel and leadership development bonuses, unheard of. Okay, so I go on and on and on that. Take the pain away from people and let our boomerang be the solution and bridge that gap. Y'all, we're gonna dominate. We're gonna go out here and we're gonna live our lives. We're gonna conquer our fears. Fears and faith are the opposite of each other, but they have one thing in common. Neither one of them have happened yet. So let's embrace each other. Let's embrace the core philosophies of our boomerang. Let's embrace the suck and just go for it. Let's close out this year, you guys. Envision yourself being a diamond. Envision yourself being financially independent and being able to help other people so you can live in your passion, and then conquer, y'all. Let's get it done. Thank you, guys.